A scatter plot is a great way to organize your data and visualize trends. So let's find out how to make one. A scatter plot consists of points on a coordinate plane. Each point represents a coordinate pair relating to two pieces of information, such as the time playing video games and the number of game levels successfully completed. After plotting several points, each representing two pieces of information, we can often see a trend. Here, the number of levels successfully completed increases as more time is spent playing the game. Now, let's walk through how to create a scatter plot. First, we need to start with some data. So let's use this data table and walk through how we can construct a scatter plot. Tessa works as a park ranger and at a gift store. This table shows how many hours she worked at each job over the past 8 weeks. Here, each column in the table describes a week. The top number tells you how many hours Tessa worked as a park ranger, and the bottom number tells you how many hours she worked at the gift store. The first week, Tessa worked 20 hours as a park ranger and 20 hours at the gift store. The second week, she worked 30 hours as a park ranger and 10 hours at the gift store. During week 3, Tessa was a park ranger for 35 hours and worked at the gift store for 5 hours. A scatter plot can help us visualize Tessa's data and show the relationship between the number of hours she worked as a park ranger and the number of hours she worked at the gift store. For each column of the data table, we can write an ordered pair. An ordered pair is written in the form x, y. Park ranger hours will go on the x-axis, so put the number of hours Tessa worked as a ranger first. The gift store hours will go on the y-axis, so put the number of hours she worked at the gift store second. So our ordered pairs are 20, 20, 30, 10, 35, 5, 25, 15, 40, 0, 30, 5, 20, 15, and 15, 25. These 8 ordered pairs are the points in our scatter plot. Let's start plotting. We can start by labeling our axes. Park ranger hours goes on the x-axis, and gift store hours goes on the y-axis. Then we start adding points. So we move 20 in the x direction and 20 in the y direction, and we put a point here. Next we move 30 in the x direction and 10 in the y direction. Our point goes here. 35 in the x, 5 in the y, here. 25 in the x, 15 in the y, here. 40 in the x, 0 in the y, down here. 30 in the x, 5 in the y, here. 20 in the x direction, 15 in the y, our point goes here. And finally, 15 in the x direction, 25 in the y, our last point goes here. And we did it! We took Tessa's data and created a scatter plot. If you take a closer look, the scatter plot helps us see that as Tessa works more hours as a park ranger, the hours she works at the gift store decreases. Let's try one more. This time, we want to show the relationship between hotel cost and quality ratings. So let's look at 8 hotels in Greenville. This table shows the relationship between the cost of a hotel room in Greenville and the hotel rating out of 5 stars. Each column in the table describes one hotel room. The top number tells you the rating, and the bottom number tells you the cost. So like last time, we can write an ordered pair for each room. This time the rating will go on the x-axis, so put the hotel rating first, and the cost will go on the y-axis, so put the cost of a room second. Our ordered pairs are 1, 60, 3, 120, 2, 80, 4, 160, 4, 180, 5, 200, 1, 70, and 3, 150. Finally, let's graph the ordered pairs. Let's plot the points. 1 in the x direction, 60 in the y direction. Our point goes here. 3 in the x direction, 120 in the y direction. Our point goes here. 2 in the x, 80 in the y, here. 4 in the x, 160 in the y, here. 4 in the x, 180 in the y, here. 5 in the x, 200 in the y, here. 1 in the x, 70 in the y, and there's no 70 on the y-axis. But don't worry, 70 is halfway between 60 and 80, so our point goes here. And finally, 3 in the x direction, 150 in the y direction, which is between 140 and 160. Our last point goes here. And we did it! Look at that beautiful scatter plot. It helps us see that the cost of hotel increases as its rating increases. The higher rated hotels are more expensive. By turning a data table into a set of ordered pairs, we can visualize it in a scatter plot. Just plot the points.